Today, CEN and CENELEC are organizing a conference in the Square in Brussels. The theme of the conference is Standards, Your Innovation Bridge. The objective of the conference is first to get to know each other better and also to understand the importance of working together, but also to establish the basis for future better cooperation, improved cooperation.
There are companies, there's research, there's the public policy sphere, and I'm actually very enthusiastic that there are so many.
The fact that there is an understanding, a discussion among interested parties, I think that is very positive. It's a way to better understand and also to actually better exploit the potential that standardization has to offer in this context.
It is extremely important to emphasize the link between standards and innovation.
Innovation is like fire, and some people say standards is like water. So if you mix fire and water, you get smoke, and nobody likes smoke. But it's not like that at all. So this conference told me that there is still a lot of work to be done for people to understand what standards are and how they are made.
To my mind, a standard is a mutual and common understanding of a description concerning a certain area. Maybe a standard of products, physical ones, or intangible ones, intangible like services. So the standard is, after a debate, a more or less democratic view on a mutual understanding how we should proceed, how we should process, or how we should go for aiming at a certain target.
Standardization is a bit like quality, like patents around innovation. So if you lead a company, an enterprise, it should be part of your strategy. It has to be included in your strategy.
If you do not want, to go through the standardization process, it's your decision. But if you want to bring your product on the market or your service on the market, you need to do that. Otherwise, you can have, let's say, you can waste your money, you invest, in your innovation, or even, your competitors, can just kick you out of the market,
Standardization has many, many benefits, and they're not as well known as they could be. I think many, especially smaller companies, could use standards to help find their way into the market and to find interoperability with other suppliers, with other people down the value chain.
Standards are essential to make innovation happen. And nowadays, innovation only happens, in my opinion, through knowledge sharing. So standards become an essential part at the very beginning of the process.
The standardization in Europe is very, very important. But it has to come, I think it has to come bottom up as much as possible. So it has to come from the users to some extent, from the needs. It has to be regulated, quote unquote, by the industry to make sure that this can be yes or no developed. But then it has to be somewhat validated by the authorities to make sure that all the stakeholders are well aligned.
I believe in a nexus between innovation, the market, and standards.
New products, new processes, new ways of doing things can be enhanced by standards because people accept it more readily. And it gives market confidence.
Now we have created awareness with the event today. The second step could be on different levels. One level is to really look at how do we organize the creation of standards? Can we still improve that? And that is already in the process of improving, as I understand.
I would very much like to see means put in place whereby science and standardization people work more closely, that we come to common understandings, that we benefit from each other, because I think there's a lot of mutual benefit. From that, I think we get innovation. From that, I think we get jobs and growth.
My expectation is that the opportunity we have now within Horizon 2020, but also within national research programs, will be taken up by all stakeholders. That means by the research organization, by the individual researchers, by companies, in order really to generate the impact standards and standardization can make both towards innovation, but also to the growth of their companies and the economy as such.
European standards are adopted by 33 countries, identical and without national conflicting standards. So one European standard gives you access to 600 million consumers. So imagine when you are an innovative company, if you manage to bring your innovation to the standardization process, and the process is a consensus-based process, you can really get to 600 million consumers.